Namaste and good morning, Sitaram. Well, it's Sunday morning here in America, Jamaica, Queens, and the sun is out and just hiding behind the clouds a little. And you could hear the birds chirping. Our good friend Woody Woodpecker is back. If we can hear him, and the sound of him is the sound of merriment. Anyway, let us all join in the singing a little. प्रभु जी तुम चंदन पानी पानी जाके अंग अंग बास समाई जाके अंग अंग बास समाई प्रभु जी तुम गनवन हम मोरा प्रभु जी तुम गनवन हम मोरा जैसे चितयत चंद्र चकोरा जैसे चितयत चंद्र चकोरा प्रभु जी तुम चंदन हम पानी पानी जाके अंग अंग बास समाई प्रभु जी तुम दीपक हम बाती प्रभु जी तुम दीपक हम बाती जाकी ज्योति बरे दिन राती जाकी ज्योति बरे दिन राती प्रभु जी तुम चंदन हम पानी पानी जाके अंग अंग बास समाई प्रभु जी तुम मोती हम दाग प्रभु जी तुम मोती हम दागा जैसे सो नहीं मिलत सुहागा जैसे सो नहीं मिलत सुहागा प्रभु जी तुम चंदन हम पानी पानी जाके अंग अंग बास समाई जाके अंग अंग बास समाई प्रभु जी तुम स्वामी हम दास प्रभु जी तुम स्वामी हम दास ऐसे भक्ति करे रुईदास ऐसे भक्ति करे रुईदास प्रभु जी तुम चंदन हम पानी पानी जाके अंग अंग बास समाई जाके अंग अंग बास समाई Om. Well, welcome again to this beautiful Mandir, and it's kind of cold, but 28 degrees Celsius Fahrenheit, and that would be less minus Celsius, a couple. And look, the bullocks are out, and the ice have melted, and they're enjoying it. You know, they're built for this kind of weather. The feathers, the down feathers and everything, that God created them so that they could enjoy and be protected. And so are we. That human beings, we are so protected. We have our intelligence this morning. You know, we know how to make thick coats and hats and everything. And you could see people are moving around in this beautiful morning. How are you doing today? Where is your power, your divine power? Is it lifting you up, or you're in a sad state? Well, being sad is not to be in, that's not a human quality. That when you consider yourself to be a human, then you always find a way to lift yourself up, because you have that connection with you to the source that will make you happy. And you have the discerning mind that you know you're not going to let thoughts weaken you. All thoughts that weaken you, you're going to drive it away. And your personal history, you will get rid of. In other words, what happened in the past, let it be in the past. Don't bring it up. as a Swamiji, this is one of the greatest thing that we have. That when we take initiation into sannyas, what happens is we give up, we cut the past, we perform our shraddh. That's the last rite to say we're not alive anymore. We died for that previous life. And then why? Because the God, Lord chooses me. Like in this case, Swami Parameshananda ji, he's the Guru, he's the Lord of Bharat Seva, he chose me. So when God gives you his grace, you cannot deny it for whatever reason, any reason, no reason at all. And this is why the grace is coming to you this morning and through this message, that you too also, you have the grace with you. But don't deny it, because if you deny it and you go back and you want to get some trivial enjoyments and pleasures from this life, bodily pleasure, consuming alcohol or whatever bodily pleasures you want, food that will destroy your body. Those are the kinds of things you have to, these are thoughts that weaken you. So this morning, this is something like that. When you're in the company of great souls, and I was reminiscing of going to different places, and Sivaratri is coming up, and I had the opportunity to go to Rameshwaram. That's a place. We have an ashram, and then we did build a beautiful temple in Rameshwaram ashram. And on the day of the opening, we would have paraded the Guruji on this, we holding this long, beautiful cloth in front, and all devotees be holding it, and we walk like 45 minutes to the Rameshwara temple, the Jyoti Lingam. And then we brought the Guruji and put it, we got permission to go and touch the Shiva Lingam there. Usually you can't do it, but we had the permission and I had a chance to go and touch it. And then you reminisce where that Shiva Lingam came from. It was from when Lord Bhagwan Sri Ram, when he would have killed Ravan and returned back to India, that they were in Rameshwaram there was no temple, and they wanted to worship Lord Shiva. So Hanumanji was there, and then they said, well, we need a Shiva Lingam. And Hanumanji said, don't worry, I'll go into Kailash and I will bring that Shiva Lingam, beautiful Shiva Lingam. And he hurried away, and he had so many experiences in his way, and that's when he couldn't figure out, what to do with all his experience. He was delayed a bit. Anyway, by the time he got back with the Shiva Lingam, guess what happened? Mother Sita, she would have made a lingam out of the sand, and they were starting to worship. And then Hanumanji said, well, brought the lingam here. And then Mother Sita knows the time was getting too late, so we had to create this lingam. And then Hanumanji said, well, I like my lingam to be there. And he was thinking, oh, he has the right to have his lingam stop in there. But then he was asked, okay, you remove this lingam of sand and then we'll put it there. But with all his might, using his tail and growing bigger, he could move that lingam. And that is the lingam, supposedly, that was there now in that Rameshwaran temple. This is our history, this is our mythology, and this is how Shivaratri, when it comes, now we're setting up for this. And I'm telling you this because it's necessary that from now, you have to start preparing yourself for Shivaratri that night. Because it's not, only that night, but all time we should be in that state of, like Lord Shiva, in the meditative, doing introspection, not going outside. And I always say that we are the created and the creator. We are the efficient cause and the material cause. In other words, material cause, if you want to build something, you need materials. You need to go to the hardware store, you need to go to the lumber yard, the steel company, the cement company, all the pieces there, and then you bring the material. And then you have to have a plan. You go to a person who can make a plan. Well, we are that. Our body, we are that person. We are the material cause and the efficient cause. In other words, in the beginning, we were just like Lord Shiva. We didn't have a name or a form, but then he created this universe, Lord Shiva, and then he took a form. And then why? So he could sustain his creation. And so also Swami Parameshananda comes as that sustainer. And Vishnu Bhagwan and all the incarnations of Vishnu Bhagwan, they will be including Lord Rama, Bhagwan Sri Krishna, the Lord Buddha. These are all people to sustain. When they come, they remind us that this is how we should live our lives and how blessed that we are. That for us at the BHARAT SEVASHRAM, we have a Swami Parameshananda. You know, you might be saying, I'm calling his name so much. But you know, there was an instance at the America SEVASHRAM. One Sunday morning we were doing the service and Swamiji Vidyanan was talking. And then there was a Punditji came and we received him very nicely. But the next morning he came and we were sitting next to the door in the bench in the ashram. And he was so perplexed and confused. You could see it in his face. And then he came in and then he, within a few seconds, he was saying, Panditji, Swamiji, I came because yesterday I saw something that I didn't really understand. Then we said, oh, what is it? And then he says, oh, why are you worshipping that lady in the center of the altar in the orange robe? And then we said, oh, well, that's not a lady. There you go. You have it wrong already. That's a man. That's incarnation of Lord Shiva. Then he says, why can't you put like other temples, put the murti of Krishna Bhagwan or Lord Shiva or Mother Durga? Why you have to put that person, that Swami there? And then Swamiji thought we stopped a little. And then he asked me to say something, to reply to the Punditji. Swami Vidyanan asked me. And I said, oh, you know, we put him there because Swamiji is asking me to tell my story. That one night in 1991, before I went to bed in Long Island, in a home, ordinary home, in then sister's home, and I went to bed after a good American meal, if you know what I mean. And then I went to sleep. Before that, I read Bhagavad Gita. And then when I woke up in the morning or 4 o'clock in the next morning, what happened? There was a transformation. And I didn't know what to think of it, but I stayed calm. But from then on, I couldn't eat the meat and you know, whatever. And my sister, she was seeing this, and she said, what's happening? I don't know. But then the Lord gave me the wisdom to stay calm. And then eventually I was brought to the ashram under a very auspicious time to the ashram, Jamaica, Queens. It was in a house then. And then when I walked in and I saw that small 2-car garage, which was the ashram. Swami Vidyananji was sitting there with devotees, Sunday morning satsang, and I saw the photo of Swami Parameshananda. And then I knew he's the one that did that. And then one time in America SEVASHRAM, sitting there for satsang Sunday morning, out of the photo, Swami Parameshananda came out. And I was telling this all to the Panditji. And then I said, you know, then for Swami Vidyanan, he told a story also how in the Guyana ashram during the 1966 riots, that the ashram was being attacked by hooligans coming in and want to destroy. And as we were getting ready to cross the bridge, this big, huge figure of Swami Parameshananda stood at the bridge. And they scampered and ran away with fear. They were so fear of this huge figure in orange robe, Swami Parameshananda. So then we asked him, okay, we told you all of this story. Did you or your father, your grandmother, or anybody that you know in your lifetime ever seen God? Did you ever see Bhagwan Sri Ram or Bhagwan Sri Krishna or Bhagwan Durga? And then he said, no. So then we explained it. Then he said, oh, I'm sorry. And then he bowed at the feet of Swami Vidyananda and he left with a smile. You see how the transformation of him was there. Devotees, we have to break away from customs and tradition. That every time, like Swami Parameshananda, there's a song that goes like this, to say, Om Namo Sri Bhagavate Pranavaya. Om Namo Sri Bhagavate Pranavaya. Namo Nama, Namo Nama, Namo Nama, Namo Nama, Namah Shivaya, Namah Shivaya, Namah Shivaya, Namo Nama. Tum hi Brahma Vishnu, tum hi Maheshwara, Devadi Deva Mahadevaya Nama. Tum hi Harihara, He Trishuladhari, tum hi Bholanath Prabhu Krishna Murari. Om Namo Sri Bhagavate Pranavaya. Om Namo Sri Bhagavate Pranavaya. That we're saying in this bhajan, that Om Namo Sri Bhagavate Pranavaya. You are no other than that Brahma, Vishnu, or Shiva, holding the Trishul. And you are the one with form and without form of your choosing. So this is so much of what I want to say, the power of Swami Parameshananda. And I'm sure if you're a Buddhist or a Christ or believe in Christ, Christianity, then you can say these things too, because you may have your experiences. But let us break away from this culture and tradition, holding on to something. We have to elevate ourselves. And when God comes, Krishna Bhagavan would have said, I come many times, recognize me. So when these spiritual masters like Swami Parameshananda come, recognize him and make a change. Have a mind that's open to everything and attached to no thing. And embrace silence. During this time, look at Lord Shiva. If you look at him, he's always in meditative position. You want to be like Lord Shiva? You want to meditate? You want to worship Lord Shiva? Then sit like he sit and go into meditation and introspection. That is the biggest kind of worship to Lord Shiva or any god or goddess. So let us open our mind for these kinds of things and make a change in our lives. Let us go inside. All that you're looking for is inside. Don't go looking outside. If you go looking, you'll be running around like a person, just running, and you won't find what's out there. With these words, it's getting a little cold. My hands are getting a little frozen, but it's I can manage it. And this is the austerity that when we want to do seva, nothing should stop us. And I have the opportunity to serve all over the world in all kinds of conditions. But this austerity of seva, without looking for comfort and luxury, is the best way to purify ourselves. Purify yourself, devotees. Hari Om. Shanti, Shanti. Hari Om. Well, have a beautiful Sunday. Whether I see devotees from India, Nepal, Guyana. Ricky Ramnaresh is on from Guyana, and hello Ricky, and so many people are from Nepal. I see our teachers are here of Nepal, and London, devotees from London are here. So all over the world, you're listening. Blessings, and prepare yourself for Sevaratri. Hari Om. Shanti, Shanti. Hari Om.